Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. I've long argued that we're on the beginning side of the adoption of XRP and really even the broader crypto markets, but there's always a fun question to ask, which we all ponder, which is, what's XRP going to be worth in the future? What is the actual potential? Well, I'm going to say something right now that I don't typically say. I have talked about this before, I just don't frequently bring it up. But what got me thinking was a particular article from the Daily Hodl, which I'm going to run through with you. But it's the idea of XRP potentially being worth like a crazy amount of money in the future. And to everybody listening, that may be a different number. But I think it's possible that XRP could perhaps in the future be worth many hundreds of dollars. And this is not me making a price prediction. This isn't something that's certain, obviously, and there are risks associated to investing, obviously. I'm not pretending all that. It depends on to what degree is XRP going to solve real problems with for real people. To what degree would it get adopted as a result, and to what degree would money flow in because of that? Because value and price are two different things. When we talk about value, we're talking about the problems being solved for people around the world. When we're talking about price, it's just the open market price of an asset. In this case, I'm talking about XRP. So here's the thing, and I want to be clear here at the beginning too. Even though I do believe it's possible that XRP could at some point in the future, if sufficiently adopted, be worth many hundreds of dollars, many hundreds of dollars perhaps, maybe more, who knows. Even so, that's not something that's going to happen in the immediate future. Like, just to be real, I'm not trying to shatter anyone's dreams, but for this market cycle, anybody that's thinking that XRP is going to be worth hundreds of dollars this market cycle is just going to balloon to that. Sorry to burst your bubble here, but even with the inflation of a XRP crypto bubble, no, it's not going to get to that level. Look, I'll get into the rest of this further, but I want to be clear at the outset. I do not have a legal or financial background of any kind. I'm not offering legal or financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. Now, at the time I'm recording this, XRP is sitting at a mere 60 cents. Although I say mere, I've held XRP for over 4 years now, so like I held it when it hit its low in March 2020 of 11 cents. So looking pretty good relative to that. Everything's relative though, isn't it? Bitcoin's at $36,777. Yeah, well, I was here when it was at $3,200 also. What do you know? Holding for a long period of time can yield results if things are going to be adopted and money flows in. How about that? Market cap for the asset class, 1.68 trillion. Bitcoin dominance at 41.27%, and the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, not looking too hot, but hey, whatever. It's been choppy, right? It's at 20 out of 100, indicating that your typical retail speculator is not sleeping well at night. They are in extreme fear, and I think that makes zero sense. I don't think it makes a damn bit of sense to be fearful, not for people that have some sort of idea of what the hell they're doing and have a sufficient time frame in mind. Perhaps a longer term mindset is going to yield better results than emotionally getting in and out of positions, emotionally buying and selling and all that jazz. Which is why, when you're talking about potentially where the price of XRP could go, it's worth being patient, folks. And so take a look at this headline from the Daily Hodl. Cathie Wood's ARK Invest makes massive 2030 prediction for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Here's their target. Now, Cathie Wood, not that she's right about everything, but she's in media rather frequently, and I think she's rather sharp. I think she's informed, and she knows in a general sense most certainly what she's talking about, certainly as it pertains to crypto and investing in general. And so again, it doesn't mean she's going to be right about everything, but it does mean as a result of all of that that I value her take on this, and she does seem to get the big picture that there's going to be an insane amount of money flowing into crypto. I was saying back when we had a $150 billion market cap for the asset class that at some unknown point in the future, there would be a $1 trillion market cap and then a multi-trillion dollar market cap, and we've seen both of those. I've also said it will eventually be in the tens of trillions and then over 100 trillion. Of course it is. Why would it? Well, not like I literally know for sure, but why would that not happen? There are real problems to be solved with these cryptos, and if you're talking about adopted at scale, my gosh, the amount of money that will have flown in at that point, it's going to result in a bidding up of prices, the likes of which you couldn't even fathom at this point. Like, nobody listening to this video right now, as I record this in January of 2022, none of you are late to the party. You're freaking early as hell. That is the truth as I see it. And so, yeah, XRP, no, it's not going to be hundreds of dollars this market cycle, but if broadly adopted, the price can get bid up. There's way more than enough money on the planet to get into the hundreds of dollars range. And so take a look at this article. And I want to mention this too before even diving in. So ARK Invest, as of a year or so ago, this is the most recent information I could find, they have somewhere in the neighborhood of $50 billion with a B of assets under management. Including, as you'll see as I go through this, Bitcoin and Ethereum investments that were purchased through Grayscale. And so just to be clear here, they're talking about the potential for Bitcoin and Ethereum here, but they also have financial investments in it. So I understand there might be a theory of, okay, are they just trying to pump everybody up this or that? Maybe, but that's just speculation. I'll just tell you that what I see typically from Cathie Wood and ARK Invest, it's, at least the way I perceive it, it's just genuine, honest interpretation of markets. But I thought I'd mention that anyway. Just know that, yeah, they could be a little bit biased because they hold all this, but, it is what it is. They're not mentioning XRP here, but then again, XRP, of course, is getting sued into oblivion currently by the SEC, those asshats at the SEC. And I still think that's going to end up well, but, Grayscale, they eliminated their XRP trust, a little over a year ago. I think it's going to come back once it's all settled, but, hedge funds, reputable hedge funds in the United States, they're pretty well forced to just exit, for the time being anyway. But that money's going to come flowing back in, I think, anyway. So anyway, Cathie Wood's ARK Invest has unveiled massive price predictions for Bitcoin and Ethereum for 2030, less than 8 years away. In the new 2022 edition of its Big Ideas report, ARK notes that Bitcoin has a relatively tiny market cap compared to major assets like global real estate, which is at $220 trillion, global bonds at $124 trillion, and gold, which is at $10 trillion. And folks, this is in line with what I've been saying. I don't know, once this asset class is at its the height of maturity, I don't know for sure where the market cap's going to be. Of course I don't, but it's more so the concept I'm trying to get across. There's almost no money in this damn space, but that's why there's opportunity. It doesn't take much money flowing in to get a doubling, tripling, quadrupling of any asset that money flows into, including XRP. That's why it's so volatile. There's almost no money, and also there's a frenzy around the asset class. There's the two primary drivers. People are acting bonkers and emotional, and it doesn't take much money to get huge swings one way or the other, but we're trending upwards. So as this article talks about where Bitcoin and Ethereum is going to be in the year 2030, well, what about XRP? If it continues to be useful, wouldn't the asset class by 2030 be substantially more mature than it is today and more money have poured in as a result? Well, I certainly think that's what's likely. Piece continues, with Bitcoin's small size in mind, ARK says that Bitcoin has huge upside potential over the remainder of the 2020s. And this is true, mind you. Bitcoin is the largest cap coin in existence, currently with a market cap of $700 billion. That's almost nothing. It might as well be zero as far as I'm concerned. And XRP is even smaller. So again, Bitcoin $700 billion, XRP market cap $29 billion. That might as well be zero. Hell, that's so low it might as well be negative. But that's not me ripping on it. That's me saying, look at the opportunity. This is incredible here. It's so low. How much money has to flow in to get to where Bitcoin's market cap is? That's already a nice little multiplier effect just to get to that point. But I think the sky's the limit, really. It could go much higher than that potentially. But again, it comes down to maturity, the level of maturity of the asset class, and how much money pours in as a result of that. Anyway, here's a quote now from the report. According to our research, Bitcoin's market capitalization could scale more than 25-fold in the next decade, with each exceeding $1 million in value. End quote. Yeah, so that may very well happen in the future. If sufficient amount of money pours in, that could. So what does that mean for market cap? Well, check this out. ARK gives an exact price estimation of $1.36 million for Bitcoin each. $1,360,000 Bitcoin, which is a market cap of $28.5 trillion. Now, for my friends out there, the idea of a cryptocurrency, is a particularly dominant cryptocurrency, and maybe there's more than one, we'll see, having that type of market cap is not bonkers. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, but that level, yes, there's sufficient money on the planet to get people to bid up the price of that level. Yes, because it doesn't mean, you gotta understand, it doesn't mean that $28.5 trillion flows into Bitcoin. I mean, it would be a fraction of that would flow in, and then people bid the price up along the way. It's nowhere near that much money has to flow in. Piece continues. According to ARK, this price appreciation would be fueled largely by investors storing Bitcoin as digital gold, corporations stocking their treasuries with Bitcoin, and institutional investments, among others. Pause there again. Exactly. This is where it's like, where's the money coming from? There. Exactly that. All of these institutions, all of these entities, corporations. If this is really happening, it doesn't take much flowing in to get that effect that I've been talking about here. That's why there's an opportunity for life-changing wealth for everybody that's listening that has a sufficient time frame in mind, invest a sufficient amount, and has the emotional fortitude. Now, I don't think that most people are emotionally equipped to handle investing in this asset class, but I do believe that for those that have what it takes, yes, absolutely. This is not some sort of pipe dream. This is real. There's real opportunity here, and I think that's such an incredible, empowering message that the everyday person can achieve this. I just don't think that most are equipped or have the knowledge necessary to make that journey. But you can. It's certainly possible. I believe that. Piece continues. The investment titan also has high hopes for Ethereum. ARK says that Ethereum stands to benefit immensely from the rise of decentralized finance and non-fungible tokens being the main ecosystems for both sectors. Worth noting here, XRP can get into both of those as well. You can think about what's happening with Flare and NFTs. There's an opportunity for all of this, as I've been covering in videos for some time. So it doesn't mean necessarily that ETH would get it all, or that it will even be here in a decade. We don't know for sure. Is it going to scale sufficiently? There's all sorts of questions around here. And those are fair questions to ask, but the opportunity is there. But anyway, since it's the preferred collateral in DeFi, ARK says, Ethereum could reach a market cap of $20 trillion in the next 10 years, which suggests a price of roughly $180,000 per ETH. And so I don't know if it's going to get there. I don't know if it's going to scale sufficiently. Is it solving a problem that's so sufficient that it could get to that level over such a time period? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I don't think it's bonkers to suspect it might be possible. And if you're talking about the asset class being sufficiently mature, sure. And so if you're talking about $1 trillion market cap, well, what would that mean for XRP? Where would XRP be at a $20 trillion market cap? Because again, I think that type of stuff is possible. Maybe it'll be like 1 or 2 or 3 coins that get up in that type of range. And again, it depends on to what degree it's solving real world problems. But what would XRP be at if it had a $20 trillion market cap? Somewhere in the neighborhood, again, this is rough math, but somewhere in the neighborhood of about $450 per XRP. And so you just imagine, even if it took a decade to get to that, let's say if this timeline's roughly correct, $450 if you had to wait 8 years, and it's currently at 60 cents. You can't know it. You can't know for sure if it's ever going to happen, but damn, the opportunity. It's going to be, and that's why for me, this market cycle, I'm certainly not worried pretty much about any of my holdings, just because it's not based on utility. Where the price is going, it's really not based on utility. Almost 0% has to do with fundamental analysis, which is why, one of the reasons why I'll be happy and willing to sell the vast majority, if not all of my XRP along the top of this market cycle once it starts going parabolic. And then once I've made the money that I want to make and everything's all good, once we're back in bear territory, I'll start piling money back in, buy more XRP, and maybe I'll never in the future have as much as I have now. But it's about risk exposure. How much do I want to risk? Because I have a feeling that XRP is going to be such an outsized portion of my net worth if it does what I think it may do. I'm not going to want to hold that much in something that volatile. I'm going to want to take some of the risk off the table. Doesn't mean I don't think XRP can't do well in the future. It's about my own personal risk exposure is all. But yeah, 8 years from now, folks, it's not impossible. It's certainly not impossible. Think back a decade ago, if you told people that Bitcoin would hit almost $70,000, most people would say, no, you're freaking bonkers. It's magic internet money, right? So Don't rule this stuff out, folks. I'm just saying there's enough money on the planet, way more than enough money, to get it bid up to these types of levels. But again, it depends on what cryptocurrencies people will want to adopt for the long haul, and to what degree are they solving these problems. And so that's why for this market cycle, yeah, maybe if we're lucky, XRP goes to $10, or if more money flows into Bitcoin, then more money would cycle through into XRP and other altcoins. Maybe it goes to 20 or 30 if we're super duper insanely lucky. But even if you're talking about somewhere upwards of $10, somewhere in that ballpark, I'll tell you what, I'll happily take that. I saw it as low as 11 cents, and I will be selling like crazy, because that will be sufficient for Moon Lambo, let's say. But I'm going to continue to like, I'm not going away. Like, when we're in a bear market, I will continue to monitor this space, and I believe firmly this will be the best place to have the best return on investments anywhere on the entire planet, and whatever second place won't even be close to crypto. So I'm going to continue to look for those opportunities after the bubble inflates and pops. I'll wait till it drops a sufficient amount, and then I'll start dollar cost averaging in. And I know I'll be down on those investments in all likelihood, perhaps for a span of years, just like I was during the last bear market with XRP and everything else. And then it'll come back around, and then bam, there you go. That's what it is to buy low and sell high. Most people just don't have the emotional fortitude to make something like that happen, but I personally am not having a particularly hard time with this. I sleep easily. I am not the least bit worried about it, and it's also true that I've only put in money that I'm willing to lose in case I'm actually all wrong about this. So let me know where you think XRP could go this market cycle, and where it might be another 8 or 10 years from now. I'd be curious to see what you're all thinking there, what your perspectives are. So again, I'm not making a prediction on any of this, and I'm not pretending like this isn't risky and it's extremely volatile. There's so many unknowns, but I still think there's tremendous opportunity in the crypto asset class, and specifically with XRP. And as long as I continue to see XRP being adopted and useful for people, I'll continue to be bullish over the long haul for XRP. I'll go ahead and wrap it there, though. I am not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Lambo.